What's up, guys? It's Friday, and so you know what time it is. It's time for What the Fitness. All right, this week there's a video that has been circulating on the internet, and a lot of people have sent it to me, want my take on it, and so I have not fully watched it yet. I'm sure you've all seen it, but I'm gonna put it on and give you guys my thoughts.
I got us donuts. Those are so bad for you. Oh no, are they moldy? I mean, are they poisoned? Are you allergic? No, I'm just saying. You're judging my food choices based on a false standard of health again, aren't you? Guilty.
Diet culture, fat phobia, and systems of oppression have created false hierarchies of food, and it shows up everywhere.
For instance, harmful thought patterns like earning food through exercising, or that dessert is the reward for the punishment of eating vegetables.
Remember that you do not need to earn food.
We are all incorrectly taught from a young age that our size, and therefore the foods that we eat, are markers of our self-worth. Moralizing food can lead to harmful relationships with food and disordered eating.
Instead of focusing on good and bad choices, try to approach food with neutrality in mind.
The only foods that are bad for you are foods that contain allergens, poisons, and contaminants, or food that is spoiled or is otherwise inedible.
Eat without guilt, regardless of what society says.
Smarter in seconds.
So there's actually a lot in this video I do agree with. I think approaching food with some neutrality is important in terms from an ethical perspective. I have seen so many people who put food into boxes of good and bad and end up developing like binge eating disorder. In fact, if you read from the etiology of how binge eating develops, one of the major kind of requirements for that to develop is creating hard food rules. So the idea that certain foods are good or bad is not conducive. Even if you like want to lose weight, it's actually not very conducive because it can lead to binge eating disorder, which is going to be not conducive for body composition goals. I agree that your body size is not a marker of your self-worth. There's plenty of obese people who are wonderful people. There's no reason to judge them for their body size. What's lost here is a little bit of nuance, and I think that part of that is just the nature of Instagram. I don't want to get into food and systematic oppression and all those sorts of things. That's kind of outside the scope of this. But I do think it's important to point out that certain foods may be more conducive to your goals for health, depending on the context of the consumption of those foods. If you are eating an overall healthy diet and you would like to have some, for example, donuts, or you want to have a piece of cheesecake, enjoy a dessert, enjoy a meal out, I don't think there's anything wrong with that whatsoever. And quite frankly, regardless of who is eating it, it is not your responsibility to judge other people's food choices. I tend to be a bit libertarian when it comes to this. We'll just wait for the comments. But I don't think it's your responsibility to basically judge anyone for anything or tell them how to live their lives if what they're doing is not negatively impacting you. That being said, I do feel like this video lacks the context and nuance to point out that, hey, it probably isn't healthy to eat nothing but donuts or nothing but ultra-processed foods or eat however much you want of it. I think what really could have helped is if they had included some information like total energy intake in a day is important for your health. It's fine to consume some of these treat foods like donuts, but just make sure that your overall diet is balanced with whole foods, lots of fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, those sorts of things. But that wasn't there, and I feel like the takeaway from this video for a lot of people is going to be, I can eat as many donuts as I want. Now, not everyone's going to have that takeaway, but I think some people will. And this is why I really try to provide a lot of context and nuance in the videos I do, because I know that it is so easy for people to take a video and go so far in one direction or the other based on what's being said. But unfortunately, what gets views, clicks, likes today is strong statements with no context, no nuanced, very black and white. That is why we are where we are with the misinformation, as well as, quite frankly, the tribalism that's going on in all areas of society today. And it's not helping anyone, it's just making things worse. And so I've had a lot of people send me this video either saying, this video supports exactly what you've been saying about there are no good and bad foods. And then I watch the video and I'm like, yeah, but there's no context. And then other people send it to me like, look at this crap. They're telling people they should eat nothing but donuts. And I'm like, that's not what they're saying. As far as the video itself, meh. Like, I really feel like they could have done a better job with the context of it. I realize like Instagram Reels is only 90 seconds, so you only get so much. But I mean, when you're talking about communicating nutrition and people's health, you really have a responsibility to try to communicate that in the most contextual and nuanced way possible while still getting your message across. Maybe I just hold people to too high of a standard, but truly, I really try to make sure that my videos have the appropriate context and nuance that I just didn't see in this video. So while I don't think it's terrible, and I think it's a message a lot of people could hear and do well with, I do think there's the potential for quite a bit of misunderstanding and misuse of that message. And I actually think it would have served them better if they had put more context and nuance into the video, because there wouldn't be so many people getting all up in arms about it. But again, that's what gets likes, views, clicks, is people getting excited, angry, all that kind of stuff. So maybe that's what they wanted, who knows. Guys, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you next week.